What's going on, everyone? So last game against the Charlotte Hornets, Luka did not have a great shooting game. He was really good in all the other areas. He was great defensively, right? He's never going to be like elite, lockdown absolute clamps defensively. But he was moving his feet well. He was keeping guys in front of him. He had a couple great reads where he was able to come away with the basketball. Just, again, applying the pressure. Stay in front of guys. Don't just get run by every possession. Be active out there, and I was really impressed with that. His rebounding, obviously, is huge for the Lakers, especially in those small ball units, right? He just has a real good feel, really good nose for the basketball, was able to chase down those balls, obviously, being able to make plays and passes. I mean, some of the dimes that he makes are just, you're just like, wow, like the way he just sees the court is really special. Had turnover problems early, really cleaned that up, really was able to kind of get back into a rhythm. That there was going to be a little bit of a hiccup, a little bit of a learning curve. The amount of Luka slander I saw last night was wild. And I'm not talking about like Mavs fans, I'm talking about Laker fans, right? The amount of just like, oh, Luka, the lights are too bright, this, that. The man has played 3 games in 2 months and is on a brand new team. Like, can we let him settle in? Can we let him simmer? It is not like everyone else was super good last night. It's not like the roster was like guys were just killing it. But Luka, man, he was terrible. I mean, you had clear rust from the Lakers. Top of the clear rust from the Lakers. Again, Luka's played 3 games in 2 months. He missed 6 weeks, came back, was on minute restriction for 2 of those games, then got another week off, and then came back and has played 1 game, right? Can we let him get 10 games, 15 games before we just go, oh, Luka's trash, he's washed, right? He's cooked. I understand, we're impatient, right? Impatient fan base, right? It's a luxury I've talked about. We have a luxury of just always being competitive, having, superstar talents, this, that, and the other. But again, there's some stuff that's just, it's a little much, right? And it's why Laker fans get such a bad rep and such a bad name, right? The guy just got here. Can he get a little bit of a rhythm going? Can he get comfortable out there? Can he learn? I mean, he did great things. Why aren't we talking about how good he rebounds, how well he passed the basketball? Well, we talk about how good he was defensively, and trust that his offense is going to come around, that his legs are going to get back from underneath him, and he's going to be able to get his shots up, he's going to be able to get his reps up, and he's going to eventually start looking like the offensive player. The offense has never been an issue with Luka, right? Even overweight, chunky Luka, offense has never been a problem for him. So why would it now be all of a sudden? Again, let him get into a rhythm. It's all the other things, the defensive of commitment, and how serious he holds up on the defensive side of things. This was great. He was fine, right? Again, no one should expect him to be this absolute clamp defender, but can he just not get blown by every possession? Can he at least pretend, give the, anything, right? Just give some type of pretend magical effort on the defense side. It wasn't magical. It wasn't, pretend defense. It was actually good. He was good defensively. He had some nice reads, like I said, on the defensive side of things. I love the way he just reads and surveys and kept the ball swinging, right? He wasn't overly aggressive with the basketball and stuff, which is another change that he's going to have to adjust to. When he's on Dallas, he has the ball always and forever, and he gets to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants to do it, and however he wants to do it. He's trying to fit in. He's trying to read guys. He's trying to keep the ball swinging. Usually when the ball swings, and then Luka gets the basketball, he's either usually taking the shot or he's, stopping the ball and making a play for himself or somebody else, right? No, he was swinging. We had several sequences where, Reeves would be in the corner, swing to LeBron would swing to Luka would keep the swing to Dorian, right? You saw him playing within the team structure. You saw him playing within the team game. I love that, right? I did. I thought that was great. I don't understand why people are oh, Luka's bad. Where is he? This is why Dallas traded him. All this stuff. It's can his offense, can you give him a handful of games to kind of get into a rhythm and get into a flow? Again, Reeves didn't look great offensively. Rui didn't look great offensively. Most of his buckets came at and around the rim. LeBron had stretches where he was really good, but then he had some stretches where he was not there rhythmly, offensively. The man has played 3 games for the Lakers and 3 games in nearly 2 months. 7 weeks he's had off, right? He's played 3 games in 7 weeks, right? Again, you're talking like 2 months, right? Don't you think it's going to take him a little while to maybe get in a rhythm, get in a flow? Oh, and then by the way, he's on a brand new team with LeBron, with Austin Reeves, with all these other new players that he's not familiar with, trying to play within the system rather than being the system, right? Rather than just dominating the basketball the entire time out there. Right? Again, I understand the frustrations when you see a guy that I understand the expectations and the hype and the excitement, and we all want to see Luka go out there and just be Luka Magic and, drop 40 against Charlotte and give us a 40-point triple-double, and we're all just like, yeah, he's back, baby. And look, that will eventually get here, right? I care more about him getting right in the playoffs than a random Wednesday against the Charlotte Hornets. I could care less about that, right? Obviously, I want him to be as good as possible as soon as possible, but I care more about getting him right, getting his legs under him, getting a feel and building that chemistry with this team and this roster, so that way come playoff time, he's ready to go, and he can start cooking, and he can do the things that he's great at and the things that we know he can do, and still play within the offensive systems and buy in defensively and do all the things that we want and expect him to do. Right? I'm not worried about the random Wednesday game against the Charlotte Hornets after a week hiatus and everyone is sloppy, right? Everyone is just having a bad game, right? Like, that's the least of my worries. I worry about, like, can Luka stay up and hold healthy? Knock on wood, right? Can he stay into a rhythm within the overall offense and team, right? Because you don't want like Luka taking 40 attempts a game and doing all this. No, you want guys to stay engaged and guys to stay involved. And, Rui as the backdoor man who, is constantly being fed by Luka, and Hayes as the lob guy, and LeBron, he's cooking and playing off ball and on ball at times, and Reeves, right? Like, can Reeves fit into that, right? Because there's times, even in this game, the Hornets game where, he looked kind of out of place at times, right? Because it's just like Luka and LeBron are doing their things and they're so on ball, and Reeves is just kind of out there, right? I'd like a little more movement, little more action out there with the Reeves, kind of play more out ball, be a cutter. Don't just like sit there and wait for a 3 in the corner the whole game, right? Like, cut to the basket. Luka's going to find you. We've seen it. Luka's going to find you. You cut, and if you got he's open, boom, he's right there. Boom, money. You just got to finish around the rim, right? You just got to make sure you hold up your end, because Luka's going to hold up his. Luka's going to find you, get you that basketball. I thought Luka had a very good game outside of him shooting the basketball, right? Like, that was literally the only knock. Rebounded excellent, made excellent passes and plays, was very good defensively, got a bunch of steals and just was just disruptive, closing out on shooters. There was twice off the top of my head where Charlotte was in transition, kicked it out to the swing guy, and Luka was able to get there and get a hand up, which disrupted the play design. And both times, if I'm not mistaken, we ended up getting the stop, and we were headed the other direction, right? Like, those are the kind of things, those little things. The offense will come. I'm not like, literally, Luka's offense is the last thing I'm worried about, literally, right? Like, that is what he's built his entire career on, just being this bucket getter and the guy that can score from everywhere on the basketball court. Why would that be the least of my worries? Right? Like, again, I was worried early on when he was turning the ball over heavily, because it's just like, man, like, this is that learning curve. This is him trying to figure stuff. And then he cleaned it up, right? Like, then it was like, okay, well, I'll stop doing that. Like, hey, tried to force a couple passes there. I realized, I'm not there chemistry-wise yet. Those are a couple passes that, usually he hits on Dallas. But he has chemistry with Dallas. He understands. Guys know, right? Like, twice, guys weren't even looking, right? But then he had a couple nice early passes, like the one to LeBron and stuff, those look-ahead passes. Him and LeBron are really good about that. Those, like, look-ahead passes. LeBron forces those a little too much at times, right? That's why you'll see him, like, turn the ball over pretty often. Most of his turnovers are usually that. He's trying the look-ahead pass, and he just forces it too much. But both guys are very capable of doing so, and that's really good for just getting out and generating easy offense, getting out in the fast break transition, right? Again, I'm not worried about Luka, right? If we're 20 games in and he's still having these offensive struggles, then yeah, then I think, it's time to have a conversation, right? Like, 10 games in, if he's still having these, like if he's, can't buy a bucket and he's averaging 12 points a game. Yeah, you know what? You're probably right, right? Like, well, let's have those conversations. We'll talk about it. But again, 3 games, and 2 of which he was on minute restriction, 1 of which he got into foul trouble in, a 7-week period, right? Like, let's let him get his legs in. Let's let him get right, get himself in order, and then give a fair assessment, right? Like, again, offense is literally the last thing I'm worried about with Luka. It's everything else, right? Can he hold up on the defensive side of things? Can he stay healthy? Can he share the basketball and build that chemistry? Can he rebound? Right? He did everything you wanted. Literally, this was a great game from Luka outside of him not being able to shoot. Like, I don't understand all the Luka slander. It is wild to me. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Do you agree with me, disagree with me, kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.